Joe Hopkins here, and I'm ready to piss everybody off. Does Tonewood affect tone? Now, I know I'm not the first guy to do a video on this, but so many people have done videos on it, I feel like weighing in. Just to throw my opinion out there. And if you hate me for my opinion, just, take solace in the fact that I feel like hell. I'm not because of my opinions, but because I'm sick and I'm all clogged up and like drowning in snot here, right? I got a rattle in my chest. It sounds kind of like two skeletons screwing on a tin roof. So does it affect tone? Let's start with there are two answers. One for electric guitars. We'll start with that. And the answer is no. No, it doesn't. The wood makes no sound of it. It doesn't resonate really. It's not producing the sound. What can affect the tone of your electric guitar is basically from beginning to end everything that resonates and creates sound. Starting with the strings. Different strings can make different tones to a degree. The pickups can change how a guitar sounds. Even the cable that takes the signal to the amplifier can, not to a great degree, but can, depending on if it's a really good cable or a really bad cable, make a difference. But it's such a slight difference, unless you go from a really bad cable to a really good cable, you're not really going to notice that much, right? You're just not going to hear it. The amp, of course, makes a difference, but the one thing that makes the biggest difference in tone with electric guitars are the speakers that your amp is playing through, the speaker cabinet. And it can make a difference with that depending on what speakers are in it, how the cabinet's built, if there's baffles in it, if the wood used in the cabinet can make a difference. But the speakers themselves make the biggest difference because they're the things actually making the sound, right? All the rest of this stuff can make a difference, but the biggest difference in tone, the biggest thing that has to do with tone with an electric guitar is the speakers. I will make one possible exception with guitar wood. If you have a full hollow body guitar, I can see where the wood might make a difference, right? And I don't mean one of those semi-hollows, because that's if it makes a difference, it's not enough to really hear. A full-bodied, hollow body guitar, I could see where it would make a difference. In fact, I've played enough of them to know that it can make a difference. The wood it's made out of, but it's not a significant difference. Now, the other answer is with acoustic guitars. And with these, hell yeah, it makes a difference. I mean, it's the body of the guitar that's making the sound. It resonates and the sound comes out of the body of the guitar, out of this little sound hole. That's why it's called a sound hole. The body of the guitar resonates. And because that's what is actually making the sound, it makes a huge, huge difference. Like this guitar is all mahogany. And it tends to have a deeper tone than other woods. I've found mahogany does. I like this guitar for that. It has a real nice, deep, bluesy tone. Usually on most acoustic guitars that, are of a certain quality, that aren't like fiberboard or plywood, a lot of them have spruce tops. And spruce tops give a nice, clear, punchy tone. It's really nice. But I could tell you the difference between, I have this guitar is all mahogany, and I have one that's mahogany with a spruce top, and it makes a huge difference. I have a guitar that's rosewood with a spruce top, and that makes a huge difference. I have a lot of acoustic guitars, and they're all different wood combinations between the body and the top and all that kind of stuff, and yes, it makes a difference. And I can't say that any one is better than the others. It depends on what tone you're going for. They all sound a little bit different. I've found, like I said, mahogany has a rather deep resonant tone. The guitar I have, my 12-string, is mahogany with a spruce top. And that has kind of like that mahogany sound to it, but with a punchier, clearer tone to it. The top makes so much difference on a guitar. More than the sides and back do. I have a guitar that's rosewood with a spruce top and one that's mahogany with a spruce top, and they both sound different but more similar than my mahogany one compared to the mahogany with a spruce top. So two different woods with spruce tops sound more similar than two different guitars with the same type of wood with a different top on it, if that makes sense. So what I found is the top, and that is the front of the guitar, the wood used there makes more of a difference than the body of the guitar does, what wood it's made out of. Although the body of the guitar being made out of a different wood does make a difference. And it seems like that would make sense, you know, with acoustic guitars. Like I said, it's the body of the guitar that's vibrating, and the top would make more difference because that's where I guess that's where the sound is coming out of. I don't know that. I just speaking from experience that the top seems to make a bigger difference than the body. So I guess if you're looking at guitars, you know, if you're looking at an acoustic guitar, definitely be aware of the kind of wood it's made out of. I really want to get a maple guitar with a spruce top. I've seen those for sale and they look really, really interesting. And Xavier guitars, if you go to guitarfetish.com, they have their Tonewood series that has all kinds of different woods that I'd love to try. They got like zebra wood and all kinds of other stuff. And I'd love to experiment with that and see what other woods sound like. But yeah, there's my long and short answer. And I know people are going to argue with it because so many electric guitar companies advertise the wood, and some woods are very pretty, especially when they're used on the top. Nothing looks quite like flame maple or, you know, what's it called? Those spalted maple, the different wood grains, and they look real pretty. But as far as tone, no, it doesn't matter. Maple, basswood, basswood, I'm not sure. Mahogany, mostly what type of wood it's made out of affects the weight more than almost anything else. And I've heard people say, well, certain woods give you more sustain. Well, the truth is, I haven't noticed a difference. With sustain, the biggest difference I've noticed is a string through, like they go all the way through when you put the strings in, seems to have more sustain than otherwise. The set necks seem to help with sustain. If you have, even if you have a bolt-on neck, if it has a better sustain block, like in the tremolo, like on Strats, it seems to help with sustain. Those neck through guitars where it's one piece of wood all the way from, you know, up here all the way through to the back. You know, the neck through, where the neck goes all the way through, and the pickups and strings and bridge are all mounted on one piece of wood. That seems to make a pretty big difference, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's just about it with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's my thoughts on Tonewood. Now, with electric guitars, if you want to get different woods for other reasons, you can do that. I don't think it affects the tone any, but some wood is lighter than others. I'd like to say what wood is lighter and what wood is heavier, but honestly, I don't really know. I know basswood seems to be lighter than a lot of the others. It seems like maple is kind of heavy. You know, like anything with a maple top on it seems heavier. But maybe that's because they usually put maple tops on Les Paul style guitars, which are heavier anyway. But hey, that's my thoughts on it. You guys can just yell at me in the comments about how wrong I am, right? If you want to. And here in a sec, there's an end screen. You can subscribe to my channel, check out my reviews playlist, check out my songs playlist. I love putting songs on there because I love doing songs because, well, I'm a songwriter and a musician, and that's what I do. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.